Welcome back. I'm Jocelyn. My guest today is Barry Zekelman, Executive Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Zekelman Industries. Barry, I'd like to show this graph on the economy for our viewers. A lot of folks aren't aware of where the GDP comes from. Manufacturing is still number two, but outside of the automotive industry, there's not much focus on manufacturing in terms of policy. What are your thoughts about this?
I think there needs to be. It's actually too bad because there's tremendous amount of manufacturing in Canada. They're great paying jobs. It's diverse in terms of where it's located. It's across every province and in every city, from small manufacturers with 2, 3, 4, or 10 employees to large ones with hundreds and even thousands of employees. We make agricultural equipment here. We make transportation equipment. We make steel. We make large fabrications here. There's just huge industry surrounded around manufacturing. The tool and die business, of course, is surrounded by automotive and the stamping business. But look at the aircraft industry that's here, the aerospace industry. It's everywhere, and these are highly skilled, well-paying jobs that are not service sector jobs. And I'm not knocking the service sector. I think there needs to be a jobs there, and it's a stepping stone to maybe move somewhere else. But you're talking about people who can make 80, 100, 120, $140,000 a year and more. Because to support the manufacturing industry, which is very technologically advanced today, you need that skill set in robotics and PLC programming, in electech, in millwrights. All of these things, which are, again, high-paying jobs and really sustain a high quality of lifestyle.
So how do we really ignite that manufacturing policy and make sure that we have a more robust policy that's not just focused on one single component?
So look, you have to make it easier, right, to do business here. Certainly tax policy is one. Whether that be lower corporate taxes and even lower taxes for people who are in manufacturing and promote those jobs, to help and assistance in training people to take those jobs and provide us with the skill set for that. So that's through education. We also need other policies that accelerate depreciation. So you're incentivized to invest even more and more in manufacturing in Canada. We need a robust energy policy here because we use energy to manufacture. While we're all for a green, sustainable energy source, we can't pay 3, 4, 5, and in some cases 10 times more than the rest of the world. I know in my plant in Harrow, I pay almost $200,000 a month in global surcharge, the green energy surcharge. That's just the surcharge. So these things put an undue burden, on us as manufacturers compared with everyone else we're competing against, whether it be in the U.S. or Mexico or other countries around the world that ship across our borders.
100%. Every manufacturer in Canada is living this.
Yeah.
Barry, let's talk about your philanthropic endeavors. Tell us about those charities that are near and dear to your heart. I know you're very philanthropic in nature. I'd love to hear about it.
Well, we're focused on community-based organizations that help take care of the people who live here, who we depend on to make our living. We're certainly heavily involved with any charities that surround children, right, and their well-being, their education, their physical endeavors. So they learn sport and they maintain a healthy lifestyle. We're also heavily involved in health-related charities and organizations that can help people through some trying times. My mother died of cancer. I've had many friends go through that battle. I myself have had those issues, but certainly we surround ourselves with charities that can help people through these tough times. To get through it and get through it as comfortable as possible. So, we definitely maintain our focus around our communities and always give back. That's
great.
What we're here to do.
Great to hear. Barry, we have under a minute left, but you have businesses both north and south of the border. In about 30 seconds, what's the difference between the two locations?
Look, it's just, first off, we love our Canadian location. It's fantastic. It's still the most efficient location we have. But in general, it's just easier to do business in the US. Again, you have access to more things, you have bigger markets, You have what I would consider a much more robust trade policy, but still needs a lot of work. Certainly we have a better tax scenario over there, so we have more money to reinvest. Our company's invested $1.2 billion back in our plants over the last 6 years.